Hello everybody. Welcome. It is Erin Reed Makes, and today we're going to play with some watercolors. So I got in, I'm going to show you a couple of different techniques of how to do some very simple watercolor techniques with supplies you probably already have. So I have this really cool new little set. This is called Viviva. I think that's how you say it. Viviva. And they're watercolor sheets. And these things, oh my gosh, they are chalk loaded. I mean, you can already see some of the colors I've made here, and they are so cool. So here you can see all the beautiful colors, and it has a little color palette below. So if you flip to that page, on the top and the bottom, you can see, and then it shows you kind of like what the true color is right here. Hello, Danielle. And so we're going to be playing around with this, and we're going to do different colors than what I've already done here. So the first one I'm going to show you is just how to do a background. It's really simple, and we're going to do kind of, I'm going to mimic this card. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I turned off my focus. Oh, that's so nuts. Hello, Wendy. I swear I turned my focusy thing out, but we'll have to deal with it. That's just going to drive me bananas. Anyway, so I'm going to flip the colors around. So we're still going to be using the same color tones, but instead of doing a green background, we're going to do a red background. So what I have here is I have my water brush or water pen. I'm sorry, I did go in and turn it off, and it must have reactivated that stupid focusing thing. I need to get a better camera is the bottom line. And I am going to work with reds. So this is a water brush. This one's actually from Prima, but the company, and again, all links are always listed down below. So Vivia, hi Carla. They have a water pen as well, or a water brush. Lots of different companies have them. And so basically this little part right here, this screws off this piece right here, and you fill this with water. And then you can screw this back on. And so I still have a water brush. I still have like a tub of water, but now I have water just at my leisure. When I need it, I can daub it out and it comes out. It's really easy. So this becomes very super portable between having this and this. And if you wanted to do this, if you were traveling, most of them aren't traveling, but if you just want a nice small profile with a lot of colors, this will do the job. And on the back side, I haven't used this because I have my palette here, but if you did want to use this, you can do some color blending because this folds out, and therefore you could dab your colors and then you can wash it off. So for this one, we're going to do the reds. So I've got crimson, deep pink, and then I have burnt sienna and umber, and I'm going to stick with, I think I'm going to stick with these top couple of colors here. So I am going to get my brush in here and just get a couple of the colors, just kind of get them going. And basically I'm just going to come in and just kind of start doing a wash on the background. Just get a little bit of some big water on here. I don't want to squeeze and pour all my water out. If I was in a situation where I didn't have a ton of water, then I would be squeezing my thing. And then now I'm going to pull in some color. So just creating some fun background colors. I did lines with the green, but I'm just going to do these other colors. So just creating a beautiful background, going in light as dark, kind of matching. The color tones I'm working with are all muted colors here. So I'm really kind of trying to kind of fill into that. And so the more you pull color, the darker it is, and you can really start seeing that darkness. Now I can come in and add more color this way. I want to try and add some bands. I don't just want to go straight. I want to add layers of color here, and then fun shapes. So just playing around. Maybe add a little bit of a lighter tone. I don't want to get into maybe some of this burnt sienna over here. So flip a little bit. Maybe a little bit into this tone. I'm going to test it just over here. It's my local tester pen. Yeah, I can go a little bit into that color. Didn't pull that much. So you see, you're just kind of pulling. Oh, it's a little brown. It's okay. We'll blend that. It's a little too brown for me. This is a really brighter red. I mean, look how vibrant that color is. Those are super vibrant. They're like in your face. So we're just going to kind of get this going. And I'll show you how to build the card from there. So just pull some colors. You can also come in and do a little bit of blotting if I want to. It's just a background. There's no right or wrong. Maybe I'll add actually I kind of like that tone right here. I got a couple of different colors. And I'm going to be adding, I know it's a little more orangey, so maybe I'll come in. There we go. I'm going to be adding a band right across the middle. So really, truly, I just need See, now I've got some color layers happening here because I've let it dry a little bit. So here we go, some color layers. So I really want to, I'm not too worried about the center because we're going to be adding something. It's all about the sides. And now I've got kind of the top layer dry. I can start coming in and adding some lighter tones in there. And it creates that beautiful background technique. Come in here, and then we're gonna let this dry while we build the rest of our cards. So this goes really fast. So this is something that you could come in and do, and this is watercolor paper from Derwent, but there's a ton of different watercolor papers. I'll show you the pack that I'm using. And this is not a super expensive watercolor paper. This is Derwent Academy Texture Surface Watercolor Paper. It's what I pulled for all the different stuff that we're doing. So this I'm gonna now put off to the side, and we're gonna let this guy dry. And I just have my mat down here so I don't ruin it. So the first technique is just to make backgrounds, right? And I'm going to do both of them and let them dry, and then we'll build the cards, and then it'll go really simple. The second technique for watercolor technique is we're going to do it with a stamp. So there's a ton of different stamps out there that you might have that are just really pretty. They might have some really gorgeous backgrounds or really cool shades. And so I'm going to take the same kind of ink pad I would use if I was going to do like coloring with my Copics or something, because I don't want them to bleed. So I'm just going to come in and stamp a few times. There we go. And I made the mistake last time and I didn't clean up my oopsies and I messed up my card. So come in and stamp here. And we're going to do different colors on this one now. Just make sure I get all those goods. This stamp is from, I got this from Stacy McTeer, and this is a really cute little stamp set that I got from her. The links are all down below. I have not linked hers yet. I need to find where I can get it, and I will put the link in, but most of the other links we're working with the watercolors and stuff are down there. So make sure I got a nice good, I'm just missing a little bit in the center. This is where I love stamping platform for these really large stamps, because inevitably you're just missing one little section of them. There we go. Looks pretty. The legs are a little bit, need a little more ink on the legs there, and we're good to go, I think. So a stamping platform is awesome to get good, crisp, clean edges. So there is that guy. And again, on the same, you can stamp on watercolor paper. It's totally cool. Now I have my, again, water brush, and you can use a paper towel. Whoops, I just totally popped the top off of this trying to take. That's not supposed to come off. I'm supposed to take the lid off. So I'm just going to brush because I am going to use different colors. I want to get into the blue spectrum here. So I did create a bird that is kind of oranges and reds and yellows and really pretty colors. But for this one, I'm going to flip over and I'm going to use this blue-green section. So as you can tell, I used a couple of these greens, and this is what it looks like when it dries. So it did not take long to dry as long as you don't super, super, super saturate them. So I'm going to come down here and we've got Peacock Blue and Viridian. So I'm just going to do a quickie test. It picks up that color. Ooh, look how pretty that is. And then this one too. So pretty. It's going to look like a peacock. It's going to look gorgeous. Okay. So I'm going to do this bluey one here. And again, the more, ooh, that's really saturated. So I'm going to really dilute this down. I can add some drops. There we go. Really, I'm going to have one really dark feather. And then if I add too much now, because I'm basically just coloring it in with watercolors. So there we go. And then I'm going to start kind of playing around with just filling in. So as you can see, I was also playing around. I'm going to show you. This was a stamp set. I was just kind of goofing around with this one, kind of playing. This is a stamp set from Pam Bray. I had it playing around here. Here it is. And I was playing with this stamp and color. So this is her May Your Day Be Happy. This is from Wild Whisper. I just love those large flowers. So it's kind of playing around with the watercolors with that. So flowers, this cool bird. I love all the intricate things that you can kind of go into. I'm going to keep playing with this and not pick up my color because I'm going to get all the beautiful different shades of this Viridian. Bless you, Catherine. It's my daughter. She sneezed. So I'm not going to do too many colors in terms of the color palette, because if you don't add more color directly to this, now I can come in and I can do a really, really dark center just by adding more color to that. So you can really kind of play around. Maybe a dark one here, maybe a dark one here, and just kind of play around. It's just fun. It's really therapeutic. It's kind of like that color therapy that you can do. So I'm gonna just clean my brush off. You don't have to use a water thing if you don't want to. Now I'm gonna come in with that peacock blue. Again, I'm gonna really add a lot of color or water to it so I don't completely wash out. I want it to be a little bit lighter than that. It's really, really strong and saturated color. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of go over what I already have. If I already pull some color, that's great. Kind of go around this flower here. I'm going to make his beak blue. You don't have to be super intricate with these. Shade, go a little lighter on the tummy. It's fun. So look how dark this is up here. Pull a little bit more color. Maybe come into that a little bit. Nah, that's already saturated into. Maybe a tiny smidgen more. I don't want to get too much more. Look how dark that is. I barely touched it. Okay, blend it in, blend it in. But that's the beauty of watercolors. It's like it's different shadings. This is just a really early beginner watercolor experiment, just using it as coloring in. If you are really into watercoloring, there's a whole bunch of cool cards that you guys can do. Some people are amazing watercolor. I'm just dabbling in it, but it's fun. It's easy, it's cool. All right, I think I'm gonna pull in a little bit of this Persian blue now. Let's check out this color. Oh, that's like a purpley color. Okay, really want to saturate that out. So drop, 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 drip, drop. I could also come in here and do it on here. So that's what this is for. I could kind of pull the color. Oh, ugh, that sucks. Oh, pretend that didn't happen. Pretend that did not happen. My daughter had to run over and see what happened. Don't drip on your dab, dab. I should have had this closer, but all right, I'm going to come in. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. I'm a blue-green girl, totally. I love blues and greens. They're definitely, and I'm going to do this really dark right here in the center. There we go. They are my favorite colors, blues and greens. I mean, in the autumn, I definitely will start gravitating and do more things that are autumn colors, just because it's kind of a change of pace. But hands down, if I'm asked to create something, I will gravitate towards the blues, greens, the cool colors. Do you guys have like a certain set of colors that you gravitate towards and go towards? Pretend you didn't see the boo-boo on that. It still look pretty though. I don't know. Some people I think have a very, and let's do a little violet. You want to say hi, Catherine?
Hi.
Catherine's saying hi. There we go. Maybe a little more violet. There we go. A little more violet for the wings down here. No wrong way to do this. Have fun. Let's go back and add a little bit more.
Palette?
It's watercolor. Now I'm going to blend a couple of colors here. So see how this is really resisting the colors? So it's kind of a resist on here. And I'm going to come in and do right here. So you can blend your watercolors.
Can I paint the flowers?
And really get a good mix. Yeah, you can paint them when we're done.
Okay.
So now she's like, I want to play with that, Mom. And so just a really easy bird, super simple. And then now I'm just going to come in with the colors here. And maybe do a little bit of that peacock blue in here. And then I want to let this sit and dry before I do the next step. So anything, you could do this, you know, watercolor, it definitely works on watercolor paper, but you can stamp just about anything you want on your watercolor paper. Pretend I did not totally make that mess. And then for this card, I did go through and add kind of like a road, for lack of a better term. So I'll give this guy a little road too. Maybe we'll come in with some of the green. A little different color, a little grass. Clean up my little smudge that you see right there. Looks like he's kind of walking on something. Little swath of something. Easy. Very, very easy. And then I am going to just kind of quickly clean this off. And you're good to go. And then I'm done with this, and it's easy. If you really, if you want to let this whole thing really dry, but that's why you have these little papers in the way, so it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to cap this, and my hands, look at all the wonderful paintiness. I love that. All right, so put that off to the side so it doesn't get completely gross. Now it's time to build our cards. This one is dry, a little bit more saturated here, but it is pretty well dry. So we are going to now start building. So this is going to be for a slimline card. So I'm going to build from the back up my hands. I really should go wash my hands. I just don't have anything. Maybe I can do this a little bit and then my paper towel, just so I don't get into it. Look how colorful and pretty this is. Like, look how vibrant the colors are. That's awesome. I know a lot of people will take their art cloths and different things and turn them into beautiful backgrounds. They'll do stuff with them. I've made paper towel flowers. I've made all kinds of stuff. This red's a little bit of the off, but it works. It's just a little bit different. It'll be a nice big contrast. And then place this. You could totally do a different set of colors than I just did, but there we go. All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to take that same watercolor paper, because there was a little smidgen left over. You could do it with something else. And we're going to die cut out the words "Be Merry." So when you looked at my original card, I had the words "Be Merry" on there. I have 4. Oh, pretty. You've got some deer in your yard. It's that time of year. Oh, we have a door. Doorknob. Doorknob, doorbell. There's a difference. So I'm going to cut out the B. Oh, there's a step here. Missing the step. So these are letters, and when they come out, they're going to be individual letters. So to make sure that it's really hard to get adhesive, I'm going to run this through my sticker maker here and turn this whole thing. So I did measure this out so these would fit quite nicely. Rub, rub, rub. So this entire back side of this paper is now a sticker. And peel this off. If I can get my finger attached to the right thing, peel that off right there. And then I'm going to attach the "Be Merry" right here. It probably could have gone a little shorter. That's okay. Ah, it's sticking to me. There we go. And then I'm going to run this through my little mini die cut machine because it fits awesome. My little mini maker. Die cut this little baby out. Ta-da! Oops. I can move this now. You know what? I'm going to, so I don't end up having problems. I'm going to get this guy out of the way. This is just in case I get stuff on my desk. I always put it down for my painting. It's a silicone mat. Man, our house is popular right now. It's technically after school, so that's what happens. Okay, so now what I've done is I've die cut this all out. The whole thing pops out. So I have all these little letters. And yeah, my fingers are painty. They might get some paint on them. There we go. So I just need to pop all these little guys out. And I did it with the red cardstock on the previous card. I thought because I'm going to make the banner I thought it would look better. Losing my train of thought. That brighter color would pop better. So that's why I did this. So I'm just popping these guys out. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to align them. They're being stubborn. They're getting caught. There we go. They're being peanuts. Some of them pop right out. Some of them want to be, like the other R came right out. Silly, silly. So if you notice, there's already a sticker on the back of all of these. That one already came off. So that's already a sticker. I just need the B. So there's a few different, like if you've got letter dies or number dies or anything like that where they're not connected already, they're individual, or if you cut them on your Cricut or something, this is one way you can do it without having to run each individual letter. You can run it through to begin with. And that one, the backing came off already too. All right, so I'm going to peel off the letters individually and just kind of lightly set them on my mat here and throw away the back sides. These are all individual stickers. You could totally do a watercolor wash in the back of on the paper first. Like I could have done this and then die cut out the letters on there. So that would have worked as well. So it's another technique where you can get your colors or your pieces you're die cutting. It could be leaves, it could be flowers. Sorry, I'm having the hardest time trying to get the little back adhesive off. Some of them, they just come right off, no problem. And others are being a peanut. But you could take, I keep trying to hit a different corner to see if it's easier to pull off. You could take whatever watercolor background and die cut out. There we go. Stubborn M. You could do that, and that would look really awesome as well. Sorry. I wanted to show you the technique, so there was no way to really speed this part up. I was like, how can I always try and find ways in my videos so you're not sitting there watching me do the most boring thing ever like I'm doing right now, taking sticker backs off of stuff. These are already good. I just have this E, and this one's almost ready because it's close. Look at that. And the bottom's already off. Okay, so now a ruler is your friend. Now, if you've got a clear, there's a word, clear ruler, that's even better. And the reason why the ruler is your friend is because it has markings. So this is a sheet of paper. Clean up some of my stuff. This is the sheet of paper it's going to fit on. And so you can do it one of two ways. You can line it up so it lines up from this direction, and you just make sure that your letters come down to a certain height. So I'm running my letters down so that they're at the bottom of the blue marking on here. So I'm going to do B right here. So I'm going to put my letters and I'm going to line them up and make sure they're straight. So you don't have to go very far on it. You could even go higher up. Actually, I think I'm going to. I'm going to go, there's a little, it's the millimeter markings on here, and I'm going to go to the top of the millimeter mark, or the bottom of the millimeter markings. That way I don't have to have as much touching the ruler when I transfer it. So B and then Mary. I'm going to skip a little bit, line it up. And so it's really easy. It's already a sticker, so it's going to stick. This would also work for alphabet stickers. So it works either way. Mary. And this letter set is from Maker's Movement. This is one of their new releases. I did an unboxing video, and this is their Be Mary die set. Pretty appropriate name, I think, for what we're doing. So Be Mary. Be Mary. So it makes this, I find that this particular die set is perfect. You could do it on a regular size card, but it is like spot on if you're going to do a slimline card. I think it's just the perfect banner. So this is the banner that we're going to place this on. So just taking a look, I kind of like the way I want to have a little bit on either end so it's not completely lined up. And then I'm going to place this. And this is a 1.5 inch line. So I'm going to come in and I want to have 1/4 inch because the words are 1 inch. So I'm going to come in and line this up so that it fits right on that half. So use your rulers if you've got them. So I'm going to go a little higher. There we go. And then that should line up with kind of the top. And then you just start sticking down the top. And everything should be lined up, my little Y. When you put it down, just make sure that you're Y. And then gently lift up. And there it is. And if you're a little off, it's just, oh, I was a little too low. So all I'm going to do, I almost had it, but now I've got them lined up the way I want to. I should have lined it up. A clear ruler would be a heck of a lot better. I could not find one. I think my kids have stolen them all. But it's a great way to line up. And then you could really see, are you centered from top to bottom and side to side and all that kind of stuff, because you can see through your ruler. I didn't measure that as good as I should have. Part of those, one of those things, it's live, you make mistakes, right? So just reorientating these guys, but I've got the right spacing. I'm just shifting them up a tiny bit, and I know that they're all going to line up the way I want them to. That's why I didn't push down too hard yet. I want to make sure that they're all the way I want them to be. Also, if you look at your letters, like if you notice, I just had them upside down because then you can see if they're a little more straight than others. If you look at it the way you're supposed to read it, you're going to miss some of the alignment of it. So if you look at it from a different perspective, from upside down, from an angle, something like that, it will be much easier to see if things are misaligned or not. So there we go. And when I look at it, pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Let's put it that way. If you are a perfectionist and you want to make it absolutely perfect, then you could sit there like this E is a little bit off and I should probably tweak it. And I haven't stuck them down. That's the nice thing about the Xyron is that you've got a little bit of play time before it's 100% set, but you can tell they are stickers. My B and my Mary are not lined up. That's going to bug me. I think my B is a little too high. Maybe I just drop my B down, and they'll all be lined up towards the bottom. I did a much better job off camera. Let me tell you, I did this guy almost perfect. Look at that. See, but that's not bad. Not bad. Okay, so now I'm going to take, whoops, wrong one. Take the Be Merry part, and I might tweak it a bit more before I take my final pictures. And I'm going to layer it over top of my watercolor background paper. That's really pretty. Now, I will have to say from my camera, unfortunately, I don't have the best quality for live cam. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Every time you guys help watch my videos, it helps me get better equipment. I will say that. So thank you. I appreciate you watching, and give thumbs ups and all that mess and hearts if you're on Facebook. So the color of this is a lot more true to red, but but on camera, it looks a little more on the orangey side. But in real life, it is not that orange, I will have to say. It's my camera and the lights. With my camera that I use to film my regular videos that I edit, it's much more true to color. So now I'm just going to stick this down here. And whenever when I line up my different layers, I always go from side to side like this. And I look at the corner here, and then there that is. Pretty. And so I just love having layers. And because it's Christmas, I totally could have done that in green. I just like the color. It really pops. I feel like the red almost hides in there. And then to add a little bit of something cool and sparkly, I had my sparkles. Where'd they go? My sparkles have vanished. All right, I'll have to find them after. I had them right here. Where things migrate. I have everything sitting right here. But as you can see on this one, I added these little sticky strips that look like sparkles going all the way across. I'll do it after, but just realize, because I don't want to waste time trying to hunt something down, I would put a little banner. I think it just adds a little bit of glitz, a little bit of something different, a little bit of pop, I guess is a better thing. You could also do stickles going along the edge there. You could do, there's all kinds of fun things that you could do with that one. So you don't have to stick with just leaving it be. You can add a little sparkle. Gems, if you've got gems going across, they're sticky gem versions. Those are all awesome. Okay, so the last card we started, this guy, pay no attention to the boo-boo. It looks like it's pooping. It totally looks like it's pooping blue. That's funny. It's the blue pooping bird. And then you can tell I even made boo-boos here. Sorry about the focusing, guys. I'm really, really sorry. I thought I had turned that off. And I did. I went in and checked it and I clicked it and then it reset itself. Stupid camera. All right. So I even made boo-boos here. But this one totally looks like it's pooping. Weird birds. And then all I'm doing for this is just a standard A2 size card. I'm just backing it onto a black. So I'm going to add my black to the back of my card here. And I did a really, really small mat. Usually I don't go down by 1/4 of an inch on each mat. This time I only went down by a 1/16 of an inch, no, 1/8 of an inch, sorry, an 1/8 of an inch, because I needed enough space to put the bird. And if I went down by too much, I would run out of space. So look at your stamps. You guys have, I'm sure, if you are a card maker and you're watching this video, there is a very good chance that you've got some amazing stamps. The other option is take a look at some of your, you can do printables, and the printables you can print out on watercolor paper. Depending on your printer, you might be able to swing that. And then you can watercolor them in. And they're really, really fun. It's a really fun way just to take a stamp and watercolor it in, or to take and make a background to a card with watercolors. It's lots and lots of fun. And the watercolors we were using today are from Viva. That's the word, Viva. And so they're just a really cool set of watercolors. I really should let them kind of dry open, but they're super portable and they'll last a long, long time. And you can see the brilliance of all the beautiful colors that are in here. They have a lot of zhuzh to them. So links for all the supplies are down below. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up or to give it a heart. I would totally, totally love that. And tomorrow we'll be back with some kids videos, kids art crafts. We have a fun new project I want to show you guys. It is totally fun. And thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do, Erin Reed Makes. And if you would like to check me out on Facebook, I am Erin Reed Makes, and you can follow me there because I'm live streaming on both those sites. And have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Really, truly appreciate it. Bye, everybody.